Today we're going to do the food play, and tomorrow we'll do the toy play. And the reason I'm doing that is, one, the food play, one, they both take a fair amount of energy, and so doing them both lumped in together winds up, your puppy doesn't have enough in the tank for both of them in most cases when you're trying to get that, because energetically they take a lot from the dog and from the handler for that matter. The other thing is that the food and toy can conflict with each other when you have little puppies. So when you're first starting in training, your puppy usually likes one better than the other, right? They're usually not in perfect harmony. And so if I'm starting with younger puppies and they like food much more than they like toys, and I come in and I do food work, and then I come in and try to play, they still want the food, and they don't want to play at that moment in time. And if I have just done a session of food work, they're expecting food, right? And we talked briefly before about this, what we call law of expectation of rewards, right? And so what happens is, in training, I can create an expectation for a certain type of reward, right? And so if I come in here and give my dog 5 pieces of steak in a row, my dog now is expecting a piece of steak. And so then if I try to hand them a piece of kibble, they spit it out. Like, I don't want that, what the hell? We signed a contract for steak, so give me steak, right? And that's demotivating, right? And so once you've created an expectation for a certain type of reward, we can't violate that expectation with something of lower value initially. Now later on in our training, we can ask a dog to work for something lower value even when they want something of higher value, and it becomes a part of the discipline of training. But with puppies and young dogs and dogs in the early stages, you want to not do that often, because it has a demotivating effect. They lose attention, they don't want to work with you, etc. Right? I can give them something better. I could start out with kibble and then switch to steak halfway through, and they'd be thrilled about that. They're like, no problem with that. But going the other way doesn't work. And so with young puppies, there's usually a disparity between their motivation to play with toys and their food drive. And with younger puppies, they're usually more into food, right? Because they have to learn to play. Playing with toys takes time, and that intensifies over time as the dogs practice it. And so for most dogs, they're more food justified as little puppies, and then that switches if they're a playing dog over time. Not all of them, though. You see some puppies that have kind of low food drive, that have a lot of prey drive right out of the bat, and they really like to play with toys, but they're less food motivated. And so in order to avoid that and make the most out of both, I sometimes have to compartmentalize my toy play and food play with my young dogs. So if I try to do them back to back, they pollute each other. My dog likes toys better than food, so I play with a toy and then try to get them to use food. No, they don't want the food, and vice versa.